Good evening and thank you for tuning in to this edition of 60 Seconds with the Soup. We are here today at Terrell Elementary School, and I am here on the back hall, as I like to call it, with Miss Melissa Phelps. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Well, Miss Phelps, thank you for coming in and ask a couple of questions. You've seen this before because she's kind of stopped me in the hallway. It was like, I got to be on one. I got to be on one. So now she's on one. So, Miss Phelps, what I would ask you is, why did you go into education?
Well, when I was growing up and coming through school here at the elementary school, I had this one teacher that always worked her hardest to help me out, and that was Miss Sue Grimsley.
Gotcha.
And then I got to high school, and it was Mr. Mike Hayes, and those two teachers really inspired me to go into education, along with all the others that I've had through my career as an educator or through education. So that's what really drove me into education.
So in your career of education, I think, what, 9, 10 years in education?
10 years.
So in 10 years, what has been the most rewarding part for you during this 10-year journey?
The most rewarding part is seeing the kids afterwards and seeing their smiles and the love for you as they come up to you afterwards and say, thank you, Miss Phelps, for all that you've done. It's also when you're working with a kid and they're trying their hardest to reach that goal and something just doesn't click, and then all of a sudden it clicks and the light bulb goes off and that smile and those eyes just light up.
Well, thank you for that, because I know exactly what you're talking about when you just see that light bulb go off. And many of the educators that are watching this evening, you know exactly what we're talking about. So, Miss Phelps, it's Friday. It is Friday before Thanksgiving, and I know you probably got to go home, cook turkeys and all that kind of stuff, or even buy them. But once again, y'all, thank you for tuning in to this edition of 60 Seconds with the Soup. Good evening, and thank you for tuning in to this edition of 60 Seconds with the Soup. We are out here on the bus garage at Terrell Elementary. We are with Mr. David Davenport and Mr. Michael Spruill in our transportation department. Gentlemen, real quick, what do y'all think the most important part of your job is?
Getting all these youngins home to safety every day.
Get them home safe. Gotcha. Yeah. Mr. David, anything you want to say to the listeners on this weekend?
Nope. We are always looking for more bus drivers.
More bus drivers and substitutes. If you want to drive and substitute in Terrell County Schools, contact us on our website. You can hit us on YouTube, Facebook, and all of our social media, or stop by the office. And thank you for tuning in to this edition of 60 Seconds with the Soup. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to this edition of 60 Seconds with the Soup. We are here with our students from Terrell Elementary School. How y'all doing? And our wonderful driver, Miss Collins. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, you come on up. 60 Seconds with the Soup. We recording. We going home. We are going home. Thank you for tuning in. What are y'all planning on doing for Turkey Day? Eating. All right. Thank you for tuning in to this edition of 60 Seconds with the Soup.